Hi there, it's Selena here. I'm live at the Digital Marketer Conference and I just wanted to share with you my takeaways from the first session. So in our first session, we had Sonia talking and she was talking all about the customer journey, something I love to talk about myself. And we got this value journey worksheet. Now, basically what it's doing is it tells you the steps that you need to go through in order to get to get a customer to begin with, and how you have to move them through the journey in order to get them to become a paying customer, and then actually getting them to move back through the cycle and become engaged and to upsell them and to become an advocate and to promote it. So let's have a quick look at the value journey worksheet and I will show you what we discovered, and you can see if you're doing this in your business. Now, first up is aware. Obviously this is backwards because I'm holding the paper up. So the first one is aware. Now, you guys know that you have to make people aware of your store. And this can happen through a load of different ways. It can be, through running ads. It can be just through organic promotion on Instagram or Facebook or whatever social media platform that you're on. It can be just word of mouth. Maybe that's what you rely on. But it's the act of the customer becoming aware that you even exist, because there are a lot of stores out there and a lot of people sell exactly what you do. So the customer needs to become aware of your store before they can move through the journey. Okay, so next up, we need to engage the customer. And that could be, in a few different ways. It could be maybe they read a blog, it could be they like something on social media, it could be they watch an ad, watch a video, or they click on an ad. Basically, they're engaging with your, whatever you have to put out there, your content or your ads or whatever you are on social media. Okay, so that's the first two steps. So you have to move them from aware to engage. Excuse me. And next up is they need to subscribe. Now, this is how you get them onto your email list. And I know that lots of you guys, you forget this part. You forget that getting them on your email list is super, super important, because unlike social media platforms, once they are on your email list, the only way they get off is if they don't want to be there anymore. You don't have to worry about shadow banning on Instagram. You don't have to worry about Facebook pulling your page down. Once you've got that email address, you now have an open communication to talk to your customers. So when they subscribe, how are you going to do it? And generally, we do that through, the tacky way is to put the sign up to my newsletter on your front homepage and get 10% off. If you're doing that, it is time to stop. The general way that most businesses will do it is they will, I'm just going to see who's watching here, is they offer content. So maybe you have a download on how to use your product or how to get the most out of it, or a checklist. It depends on what you're selling. If you're selling baby goods, you might be the essential pregnancy checklist, something along those lines. And people sign up to get that because they want to hear more from you. They want that information. So you've moved them through this value journey from being aware through to engaged up to subscribe. And then next, we have convert. Now, this is the part most people are really, really bad at. They either do one of two things. They do the really shouty emails that say, buy my stuff, here's something that's on sale, here's a new product. Or they just don't do it at all. They send out, newsletters that don't, they're no value to the customer. And I guess in e-commerce, we're probably more problematic just sending those shouty emails out rather than sending emails that don't convert. But sending out content to your email list that's actually beneficial to them will help keep them engaged. So we're kind of moving, if we just get my little sheet back here, we've got convert, but you can see that it goes back down to being engaged and also being excited. So the information that you're sending out in your newsletter needs to keep your customers engaged. And you're not going to get that when you send shouty, buy my stuff emails, right? So think about the next time when you craft an email that you're sending out, or maybe the next time that you're crafting an ad, is it a shouty, buy my stuff one? Because if it is, don't send it. Send something with more content, something that is benefiting the customer rather than just buy my stuff. Because it's like being a hawker on the street. You just walk straight past them. You're just like, leave me alone. Okay, so once we've got them to convert, we either move them back down to engage or we move them across to excite. Now, exciting, I have to admit, I probably haven't been fantastic at this one. And it's actually making sure that people get value from the information that you send out. And, I send out a lot of information, but I don't always check back in to see if people got a lot of value out of it. So that's something that you need to do as well with your customers. Check back in with them and see, did they get value out of that, initial transaction that they made with you? And that could have just been giving you their email address. Something to think about here, and I know it's something that I need to work on a little bit as well. Okay, so once we've got them to excite, we move them up the ladder. Now, moving them up the ladder is turning them into a customer. You guys know this stuff, right? So this is where we give them an offer. This is where you get them to buy your product, not in those shouty emails. This is where you give them some sort of offer. And you can go back and forth. So let me just pull my sheet back out again. So see how there's an arrow going back across to excite. So when you give somebody an offer, we're talking about checking back in with them to see if they liked it, to see if they thought it was value for money. And then you can move them through the ladder. So when we go to excite, we also drop back to engage. So it's kind of a big circle, right? Keeping those customers engaged. So don't just send shouty buy my stuff emails. Send out the content that people are liking, keep them engaged, and then every now and then send them the offer. Okay, and once we've moved them up the ladder, once we've got them into a customer, we turn them into what's called an advocate. So these are the people who are happy to tell other people about your stuff, right? They're the ones who are going to give you a testimonial, they'll write a review, they'll mention your brand on Facebook. That is kind of the, we're nearly at the holy grail there. Because if you can get people to that level, free advertising. Those people who love your stuff are always going to tell somebody. And to get them to that level, you need to go through this customer journey. Okay, and then, that sort of obviously moves into promote. So this is where the other people are promoting for you. So the testimonial is the advocate, and then the promotion is where they're happy to tell people about you. And that is the holy grail, finding that core group of customers who will tell everybody about you, tell everybody how much they love your stuff, your service, everything about your store they want to be associated with. Okay, so that is what we've pretty much a rundown of what we've learned on the first seminar of the Digital Marketer Down Under Traffic and Conversion Conference. And it's all about the customer journey. It's something I'm passionate about. And, whilst I knew most of this stuff, and this is what I teach, this is the thing about when you come into these kinds of events, is there's always something new that you discover. And I must have made 3 pages of notes of things that I need to implement in my business that just popped into my head when I was listening to Sonia speak. And the other thing about coming to events like this, whatever events is, I've already met somebody who I'm happy to join up with in a joint venture partnership, just literally on the escalator, saying hello, what do you do? So make sure you get out there, tell people about what you do, go out and meet new people, because those relationships that you build in real life are key to growing your business. Okay, so I'll check back in a little bit later and tell you what I learned from the rest of the Digital Marketer Conference. Have a great Saturday. Bye.